Looking back at 2023, I just wanted to say how grateful I am for the goals that were achieved. And when I mean goals, I don't just mean the materialistic things like this car. I'm talking about everything that I've learned throughout the year, as well as all of the new things that have brought me out of my comfort zone. I've never planned on making YouTube videos. I've always been kind of camera shy, but now that I've gotten started, it's actually kind of hard to stop. Even though we only have 5,000 subscribers, you 5,000 are what motivates me to want to finish the car and keep on uploading videos. So I just wanted to say big thank you to all of you guys that do support the channel. And with that being said, going into 2024, we are not gonna let anything stop us in our tracks. But as far as the Lamborghini goes, ain't nothing gonna stop it either. But that's because it doesn't have any brakes. So let's start off the new year by trying to figure out what is going on with the brakes on this car. Let's get started with today's episode. To access the master cylinder on these cars, it's actually the same as any other car. You just pop the hood and it'll be over here on the firewall. So if you ever need to add fluid, you pop this little tab off and that gives you access to the reservoir. But if you need access to the master cylinder, then you pull your trunk lining out, you set it aside, and that'll give you access to all of it. Let's get this thing out. What is up, you guys? I am back in the garage. It has been a couple weeks, but we kind of just been running into a couple issues, and it's, you know, it's just part of life. But it hasn't been with the car, but it's been with a car, and that being my girlfriend's Jeep. That thing is a pain in my butt, and let me show you what the problem is. So this piece right here has been giving me hell, and so if you notice, that part is plastic. And well, here in Kansas, we've been getting some temperatures that have been pretty cold. It's actually been sub-zero. And I feel like we haven't experienced that in a long time. But either way, with that oil cooler being plastic, it lost the fight to the cold. It ended up cracking out and leaving a nice big oil spot in my driveway. And I'll be honest, I'm not very happy about it. So I had to put her car in the garage and get it all fixed up. And I wasn't able to do any recording. And then that kind of made me realize that I'm falling behind on maintenance on my truck. So I took the time to get some stuff done on it that it needed. And one thing I noticed though is the tires are pretty much gone. And I went ahead and did some boy math, and instead of replacing the tires on my truck, I went out and bought another one, if that makes sense. But anyways, just with Jessica, you know, her Jeep being her own, or the only car she has, and this truck being the only truck I have, I figured we needed a third vehicle. So with that being said, I want to present to you guys my 2013 Chevy Silverado Duramax. was honestly a really good deal and I just could not pass it up. And it makes me happy to be able to have 2 work trucks again. And not only 2 work trucks, but one that's actually roadworthy, of being able to go out of town. So we are actually going to be using this rig to pull the Lamborghini down to Dallas, and I'm just beyond excited and I cannot wait for that day. And it is coming really soon, I promise you guys. But you guys probably don't care about a big red truck, you guys care about a Lamborghini. So I actually got a new box of parts. Let's get back inside and throw them on. So now that I bolted the intake down, I came across a small little issue. Nothing major, but just something that bothers me a little bit, and it is those return lines right there. They look like a pair of horns or something. I'm gonna swap those fittings out, and I'm gonna hopefully make them look a lot better and get everything zip tied back up and make it look a little more presentable. You guys, we've been really kicking butt, and the list is getting shorter and shorter. So take a look at this. Don't mind this, that's what I needed to order. So we got the turbo coolant lines, dump tubes, boost controller, AC lines, vacuum lines, catch cans. So the boost controller is pretty much done. So all I got to do is finish reaming this vacuum block out to a 3/8 MPT, and then that'll be for where it gets fed from the booster. I ended up mounting the boost controller down here. It's nice and tucked away. All I literally got to do is run one line from here all the way over to where our boost control or our vacuum block is going to be, to right there. And then I can finish up the vacuum lines for the motor, which will be a check off the list. But what I'm going to be working on right now is something that I should have did probably whenever I got the turbo system built. And that is build the water lines for the turbo. So I got all of these fittings, and it honestly shouldn't be as hard as it looks, but I guess I'll let you guys know once I dive into it. And I'll give you guys a little bit of an update on how I ran everything. Let's get back to it. Look at our list, you guys. That is super exciting. It is almost gone. We're so close to finishing this up. And if Roman was to call and say that he's ready for the car, I feel like the car is honestly far enough that we could actually take it to him. It is actually ready for him because he doesn't need the catch cans or the AC or these wastegate dumps to be able to do his job. So that is super awesome, and I just cannot wait to get that phone call to be able to take the car down to Roman so he can get it all wired up for us. But in the meantime, while we wait for that phone call, let me show you guys what I just did. So this is actually the first time I have ever ran a set of these turbos that are water cooled. I've always done just the more traditional oil cooled bearings. And so I had to make, you know, water lines, of course, like I had said, and I'm gonna show you guys how I ran them. So as you guys can see, the turbos are angled back a little bit, and so this is gonna end up being my my feed, and then the other side is gonna be my return. And so I had to get both of my return lines. Oh, sorry, those are the oil lines. Where are they at? Right here, you can see them. There's a return line right there, and there's a return line right there. So I brought them together and wired them in the center and ran them down with our oil feed line over to my radiator hose. So these aluminum pipes run to the front of the car and they go to the radiators, and they actually already had these bungs welded to them, and it was the perfect size for the hoses. So that actually worked out really well. And this line right here is our feed lines, and it Ys and it crosses over the transaxle, and then it goes up to our turbos as well. And like I said, this is the first time me doing this, and from my understanding of it, a lot of people run them off of the heater hoses. Well, that wasn't very easy for me to do, so I went ahead and just used those bungs that were already welded to those pipes, and I'm hoping for the best that they're gonna work the same way. But we're learning. We're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna see what happens, and hopefully we walk out of here with successful water-cooled turbos. So overall, I'm pretty happy about that. And what I think I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna start getting this Lamborghini looking like a car again. So I'm gonna throw the trunk back on it, or the hood, or whatever you wanna call it. I'm gonna get the tail lights put back on, the little panel that says Lamborghini put back on. I'm not sure that I'll throw the bumper back on just yet, because it might be easier for Roman to do his job without it on, and it'll look way cooler. But my goal is to get it all wrapped up, and so that way we can get it set back on the ground, and so when we get that phone call, the car is gonna be ready so we can take it down to him. For the most part, we got the car all back together, and it has been a long time coming. But I would like to say that it is now ready to go get wired, to the best of my knowledge. And I'm just super excited, you guys. And I'll admit, we had a little bit of a slow start to the year, but it takes a lot of time to make YouTube videos and do the work. And I give a big props to all of you guys out there that are doing this for a living, because this is like a whole nother level of work that I'm not used to. But I promise you guys, I am gonna try my best to upload more regularly, and hopefully to keep the content coming so you guys can watch my progress with the Lamborghini. This thing is super close to firing up for the first time. Now it's literally out of our hands now. If just whenever Roman is ready to get the wiring started, we'll take it down there to him, and hopefully we'll hear it fire up for the first time here soon. But with that being said, I wanted to say thank you to all you guys that do support me, and make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, drop a comment down below, let me know what you think of the Lamborghini so far, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.